Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, the product specialist with Camping World, and today we're going to go over the Heartland Mallard M280. It's a really nice rear kitchen floor plan, offers a ton of countertop space here, and it's still great for being able to sit back and relax and entertain guests because the main living area right here offers plenty of seating so people can sit around and have great conversation. One of my favorite parts about the Mallard is actually right here on the ceiling. One of them is the fact that this is an 80-inch ceiling. You'll see it does have an arc to it. That really helps give you a lot more headspace so you don't feel closed in and claustrophobic. Also, take a look at how many LED lights they have on the ceiling here. This is a very well lit coach, and it's something that's a personal pet peeve of mine is when I walk into an RV, and it's especially a problem with travel trailers, and they're just dark and dingy, especially at night. I want it to feel bright at night, and this definitely provides plenty of light here with all the LED lights. If we take a look right over here on the camp side, you'll see this one has your two recliners. Again, when I talked about having great conversation, that's because right across the way is your sofa, so people can just sit here, kind of talk back and forth. Or if it's just two of you, again, it's a great spot to be able to sit back and relax. Both of these do recline, as I mentioned. And right in between, you have an end table, so that way you have a spot where you can just kind of sit down and set your beverage. In order to recline these, they don't have any zip cords or anything. You basically just kind of put your hands right here on the armrests and push back. That will actually push the footrest up. If we take a look right in between, you will notice you have big storage right there too. A lot of times in floor plans like this where you have the two recliners and then something in the center, they'll put the fuse panel here. They didn't do that, so again, it does keep that a nice big open storage space. Also, right behind there, you have a huge window, folks. Not only does that let in natural light during the day, but it also gives you a gorgeous view out to your campsite as well. If we take a look right here at the rear kitchen, so right over here you have a couple of drawers. You know, it's not the best located spot because there is a chair here, but at least they did give you something. Most manufacturers wouldn't have done this at all. They would have just kept it closed off there, just kept the panel running all the way through. But I really appreciate the fact that they did give you the extra drawers. Also, right over here is an electrical outlet. So if you're sitting in the chair, you need to plug in a laptop or tablet, you can plug it in right there. Coming around to the side, you do have a little cutout here, maybe for a couple spices you can hide in there. You have another full extension drawer here, and then yet one more right down below. You see a heat duct right there too, as the furnace is located right underneath this main kitchen countertop. Right up top here is your sink. You have sink top covers. Both of these are cutting board quality, so you can flip them over, use them as cutting boards. I always recommend flipping them over though, because that way all the knife marks are on the bottom, so that way your top still stays looking great. When we remove both of those, you can see the sink, larger bowl on the left, smaller on the right. Then you also have the high-rise pull-out faucet here. I really like a pull-out faucet because it's easier to wash and rinse your dishes. Plus, if you have like a pot or something you need to fill off to the side, you can do that too. But take a look at all the countertop space you have here. You have massive countertops all the way through here. Great prep space running all the way through here. And then you have a cover on your cooktop as well. So all of this is very usable. Also, if we take a look underneath the cabinets, you'll see again the kitchen is very well lit. You have 3 LED lights going across that span and 2 electrical outlets, one on this far side, one over here. So you have a couple different options of where you can plug in your other appliances at. Window there too for natural light during the day, and storage all the way across the top. You can see that there, and then more right here. So it's all one big continuous storage area, and then you have a little bit separate one right here. You'll also see the microwave up top with your hood right underneath. That does have a light and fan. Little decorative backsplash right back there, which is just a nice little aesthetic piece. And as I mentioned, the recessed cooktop with the glass cover. One of the things I do like about this is you'll notice the hinges aren't huge, so they generally don't get in the way. Plus, this cover is spring-loaded, which is cool. You can see it kind of pops up like so, and then it just stops right in place. And again, that also helps act as a backsplash. 3-burner cooktop, the front one there being high output. And then right underneath you have an oven in case you want to do some baking. You'll also notice you have your fuse box right over here with both your breakers and your fuses. Your propane leak detector right next door. And lastly, you do have some additional storage right here underneath the sink. Rounding out your kitchen space is a Dinette fridge freezer right here. You do have a cutout there for some taller items. This unit does run off both propane and electric and also has automatic switchover. And next to that, you have some additional pantry space running up and down the full length of the fridge there. Underneath, you will also see another electrical outlet, so that way if you're sitting here in the dinette, you can plug in your laptop, phone, whatever, and be able to do work right here. Speaking of the dinette though, this is our super slide with both the dinette and the sofa. The dinette obviously is a great spot to be able to play games together, eat meals together, and people that are sitting here can still be involved in conversation with people on the couch or over in the recliners. Big, beautiful window here too, folks. Again, this coach has a ton of light, whether it is nighttime or daytime. Then you'll see a light right up top here that is an LED light, as well as a wall sconce. Up above the sofa, you have additional storage. You have really cool decorative glass on there. Because this is an overhead bin, you will also notice that you have struts here, so that way it's simple one-hand operation. That way you don't have to hold it up with one hand while trying to reach in with the other, but you have 3 of those going all the way across. A couple more windows directly underneath that. Then you have this right here, which is a tri-fold sofa. Folks, this is very comfortable, not just to sit in, but also to sleep on. If you take a look, you can see this back cushion. This is what your guests will actually get to sleep on. They don't have, it's not like a traditional pull-out where they have a bar on your back or an air mattress that's going to deflate on you. Plus, it has built-in armrests here, so again, it is just comfortable as a sofa. When we take a look right over to this side here, this is the entertainment center. So what you'd normally do is you'd mount a TV right here on the wall. I personally would recommend a swing arm bracket for this floor plan. That way you can either turn it over toward the recliners or kind of pull it out and turn it toward the sofa. But either way, they did provide plenty of wall space here so you can fit a larger TV. You'll also notice your thermostat is right down here. That will control your ducted AC as well as your ducted heat. And then you have your connections right down here for your TV, including these audio-video cables, which are actually connected to the multimedia center right down here, because that unit is a DVD player, so you can pop a movie right in there. Also, it is Bluetooth capable, controls the speakers in here as well as the ones outside. So if you have music on your device, or if you listen to podcasts, my favorite one right now is the Stories from the Road podcast. You can sit right in here, be able to connect to that via Bluetooth, and be able to listen to it in your RV. Over to this side, you have additional storage there. And one of my favorite parts about the Mallard, folks, is this right here, which is the central vac. Normally, for something like this, you have to be in a really high-end camper, generally your higher-end fifth wheels, to get the central vac. I love that they put it here in a travel trailer. That way you don't have to bring one with you. It is super convenient. The bathroom in the M280 has 2 entrances and exits. One right here, which leads into the main living area. The other one, which goes into the master bedroom. Right in between is your foot flush lever toilet, and as you can see, you certainly have plenty of room here for both your legs as well as your shoulders. Straight across from that is the neo-angle shower. I love the door system in here. They have the roller track doors. That way when you're done showering and you open the doors up, all the water goes down the doors here straight into the shower pan, rather than a curtain where it tends to be messy, or a swing door where a lot of times it goes down the door and onto the floor. As far as space, I'll step in here for you. I'm 6 foot, and as you can see, folks, I have plenty of space here due to the arch ceiling, even without the skylight. If you're really tall, you can probably stand right about here and get a little headroom in there. But honestly, because of its position, it's going to be more for lighting than anything else. You will see there's a shelf here behind me, as well as a hand wand just to make showering a little bit easier. Right outside, you have your mirrored medicine cabinet here with storage in there. Your tank monitoring panel is located here. That is something you're going to want to know where it is. Obviously, so you can monitor your tanks as well as your battery. Your water pump is also on there, as is your water heater. And the water heater does run off both LP as well as electric. You can turn both those on at the same time for faster recovery. Right down there is your electrical outlet in case you need to plug in a hair dryer, electric toothbrush, something like that. You also have your sink top there and some additional storage underneath. When you come into the master bedroom here, you see the queen bed right in the center. This one does have storage underneath it as well, pretty easy to get at. If you see that bag right there, that is the parts for your central vac. But again, if you have larger items like extra bedding, maybe if you bring like guitars, things like that, they can generally fit down in there. On both sides of the bed, you'll notice you have wardrobe space. Excellent spot to hang your clothes there, as well as additional storage going across the top, which is quite deep, which makes it very usable. Right underneath, you have a couple LED lights there in your headboard, and you have nightstands on both sides. You see you have not only a top, but also a cubby hole there, and electrical outlet, so if you need to plug in cell phone, tablet, CPAP machine, whatever else, you have the capability to do that too. You have windows on both sides. You also have a vent right up top there. Obviously, your heat and AC is ducted into here just like it is every room, including the bathroom. And right over here are TV hookups in case you want to watch some TV before bed. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the Mallard M280. Right up front, you have your two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover. Simply undo the two thumb screws, lift up the access door here, and you are down and into those tanks. Behind that, you see rails for your battery. And off to the side over here, if you notice, you can see this one does have solar prep. All I have to do is buy the portable panels, plug it in right there, and it'll trickle charge your battery. If you notice, you can also see this kind of hanging off just a tiny bit right here. That's because this has a fully enclosed underbelly as well. So that'll not only help keep some of the rodents out in the off season, but it'll also help keep off a lot of the road grime as you're going down the road. Right here you see you have diamond plating, which is coming up the front, helping protect that front end from some of the rocks and debris that get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And then kind of the 3/4 front cap that they have right here. Great front cap. I love the fact that it actually does roll over to the sides. That way, not only is it providing extra insulation and protection, but also helps prevent some of the water intrusion. And then you see that our LED lights that are inlaid into the side. When we come around to the side right here, first off on your pass-through storage, notice how wide this door is. That's a pretty big deal, folks, especially if you have some bigger items because you can easily slide them in there. It also has a covered hinge so you don't have rust coming down the door, and excellent slam latch baggage doors that work very well. It's a heavy duty door and it will shut pretty much every time. You also see that you have a magnet there so you can just flip it open and have it hold in place. You don't have any plastic clips that are going to snap if you forget about them and try to close it. If you look in the pass-through here, you'll see it is quite open. The very far side does have a little bump out there, which yields a smaller door on the other side, but still, again, a very large pass-through storage here. A couple LED lights in here for you. And if you take a look right over here to the side, you will see your power stabilizer jack controls. One of them will operate the two front ones. The other control will operate the two rear ones. Now remember, folks, that is not auto leveling. You already want to have your camper level out with blocks. However, it does make the process a lot easier to set up and tear down. Right here is your power awning. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to have it go right back in. Gives you great camping space right here. Also, if you notice, you don't have any vents underneath the awning, so all this is great usable camp space. You also have an LED light strip there, so if you want light at night, you can just flip it on and you're good to go. 3 foldable steps here. I do currently have them folded up because we have a slide right here, which is pretty close. You need to be able to walk through. But that's obviously easy to operate. Plus with the third step, it is nice and low, so that way even if you have bad knees, you can still get in pretty easy. Grab handle right here too, just so you have a little extra control. Making our way back a little bit further, you will see the beautiful aluminum alloy wheels. Aluminum is great because it doesn't rust out on you. It'll stay looking gorgeous forever. You also have nitrogen-filled tires, and you have the wide axle or spread axle system. So with that, you have a further wheelbase, meaning you will get less sway as you're traveling down the road. This is that beautiful window I showed you that is right next to your 2 recliners. So again, as you can see, it gives you a great view out here to your campsite. The walls themselves, folks, are laminated walls, 2-inch thick on here too. Just because it's a laminated coach, don't think all laminated coaches are built the same. Some of them only have like 1.5 inch thick wall. Not at all the case. You have excellent insulation here. You'll see an electrical outlet right outside, so if you need to plug anything in, whether that is a phone, or if you have like a blender, electric griddle or something, you want to, set up a little table here, that's the place to plug it in. Couple outside speakers right there. Also looks like we have a little bit of bird poop, but let's not worry about that. The speakers are great. As I mentioned previously, those are connected to that multimedia center inside. However, it is Bluetooth capable, so if you're sitting right out here, all you have to do is connect to it via Bluetooth and you can rock out. This is your outside kitchen. Again, slam latch baggage doors on here. Look, it just works. You have to love it. Open this up. Again, this one is magnetic too, so it's not a head knocker. It's not just hanging out here where you walk through, you're going to bang your head. It is up there and out of the way. If we take a look inside, you have an LED light here so you can see at night. Good little countertop space here, which is cool. You have your sink off to the side. You also see you have your mini fridge right here for your condiments and beverages, and you even have TV hookup. So if you do want TV, you can certainly hook that up out here. You'll also notice you have kind of this pull-out prep space right here, which is pretty cool too. So again, if you want an electric grill or something, may not be a bad spot to put it right there as well. If you come around to the side, you'll see an arm here for your grill. That swings out. Your propane quick connect for that will be right down below. So, don't think you can't cook out here. You certainly can. Swing that out. We're rocking and rolling. That is attached to your square tubular bumper, which has the end cap, so it gives you a storage space for your sewer hose. And also attached to that bumper is your spare tire with a cover. Folks, hopefully you never need to use this, but in the event that you do, super easy to get to right here, and having the cover will help ensure that it is in great shape. We take a look in the top center right there, you will notice that this one has backup camera prep. It's a decent size RV, may not be a bad idea to get it. Because it is already prepped, that means it's pre-wired, meaning it's easier to install. So if you have it professionally installed, that will save you money on labor. Here on the off-door side, you will see you have your cable inlet. So if you have part cable, that's where it'll go. And then directly underneath that is your detachable 30-amp power cord. That's where you will plug it in. If we drop down underneath, you will see one of your two terminations right there. The other one is actually going to be in front of the axles, and you will see that one right over here. So if you're at a seasonal campsite, or if you plan on being there for a bit, may not be a bad idea to buy a Y so you can Y them together, assuming obviously that you have the dump right here at your campsite. Otherwise, you just dump the one, pull forward, dump the other. It doesn't take too long. Right up here is your outside shower with both hot and cold water access. Next to that, your city water inlet with your black tank flush directly underneath. And if you move up a little bit further here, you will see your freshwater connection for filling your freshwater tank. So if you plan on doing some boondocking, that is where you'll want to fill your water. All right, folks, that wraps it up. Again, this is the Heartland Mallard M280. If you're interested in this beautiful rear kitchen travel trailer and you'd like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.